viewers, this is Kat and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a flip through of my March spreads and then I'm going to set up for April. So let's get started. Let me go ahead and kind of show March really quick. Obviously on this page I did not finish my wrap up. And then you can also see I did not finish my TBR. So I'm going to be doing this later on, probably not in this video, just off camera when I get around to my March wrap up. And same here with Galaxy-a-thon, did not really finish the books that I wanted to read. And then on here I have some spoilers, so don't look too closely. I did see the movie Project Hail Mary, and I wrote a little bit about that down here. But yeah, just short, sweet, simple. I added this to my journal because I'm bringing back a series on my other channel called Read Around the World, and I have my little key here. So I started this in 2024, and I have 2025 and 2026. So that's kind of like the legend right here. So obviously, if I have read other books in these countries, you know, I don't add it on here if it was not part of that series. So I'm sure, for instance, I've read a lot of books in the United States, but unless I pick the United States out of my jar, I'm going to leave that blank. So this is just purely off of like that series. So it's not really a true accuratization, but there you go. So, and I know I'm missing, what was it? Oh, Antarctica. So I had to hand draw it here, and I just decided to put it here because it just had more space, and I just felt like, I don't know, it's kind of its own island, so I just kind of put it here. It's not in the region there. So, all right, so that is bringing me back to April, and so I'm going to do the voiceover, but please enjoy the video. Okay, so I am pulling out some things that I want to use for this idea. And honestly, guys, I had struggled with what idea I wanted to do for the month of April. I've kind of been in a creative slump. I knew I wanted bright colors, pungy colors, especially for like the springtime. And I just decided to kind of go off a color scheme. And so you see that yellow and green, later on you're going to see pink is going to be part of this color scheme. And so I decided just to pull out these beautiful yellow flowers, which I got from Christmas. My husband ordered me a bunch of floral stickers, and they're all like in different packs and they're different colors, and I believe it's off of Amazon, but I decided I wanted the yellow flowers. So I pulled out this green textured sheet, and I figured, oh, why not go with a scrapbook theme? And so that's the inspiration, scrapbook with the yellow, green, and pink. So I'm going to pull out different things that kind of go along with that. So that green textured paper is actually from a subscription box. It's from Archer and Olive, not sponsored, but their last box was like cottage core, almost kind of scrapbooky. So I really liked the texture of it. So I decided to use that as like the background. It reminded me of grass, and that's what you kind of see here. So I'm placing the flowers around, and I'm doing like double-sided tape instead of gluing it in because I feel like it's too thick for that. On the bottom, you saw that I pulled out a like a little dictionary word sheet of paper, and the word, and I know you can't really see it that well, but it says happy on it because I thought happy springtime. And when I think of yellow, I think of happy or joyful. And so it says happy, causing or characterized by pleasure, contentment, or joy. So I highlighted that. And then the rest of it says feeling satisfied that something is done or something is right or has been done right. So I just kind of tore it up and made it look a little scrapbooky. Now, as you see, I pulled out this other type of paper, and this is actually wrapping paper from a shoe box that we had, extra, like, when the shoes, they come in with like the extra paper so they don't get scratched up. And so I just saved it because it was thin enough, and I figured I could use it for scrapbooking later. And then of course, I pulled out my stamping because I felt like it needed a little something. And then you see the stencil I'm going to use to write April with, and this brown pen. So I actually added brown there as well. I felt like the scrapbooky paper feel would really add to this cover page. But yeah, so I do recycle a few things that I feel like I can fit in later, and so that's a great tip. If you buy shoes or you receive like tissue paper or something, just having that, if you don't mind storing it, and that you could use it in a spread, that's a cheaper way than just having to buy stuff all the time. So here I am placing it in the center, and I felt like it needed more, but I wasn't really sure what to do, so I really did struggle with this first page. And so I kind of added a little more stamps, and I did get it a little bit off of the page, which, it didn't really bother me because, again, I'm going through that, or I was going through in my mind like it's scrapbooky, so mistakes aren't a huge deal. It's not like it's super perfect, so it's made to be scrapbook-like. So, yeah, so I ended up taking that pen and, I'm gluing down April, but I ended up taking the pen that I used to write April and just created little dots around it to fill in some of the space. So that's where you see here. So after my cover page for April was done, on the other side, you're going to see that I pull out that paper again. And I wanted to do two pieces because one is going to hold, like, I'm going to write down my TBR game prompts and the books that I'm going to read for it. So I can look back and, see what the prompts were when I do my review. And then the bottom part is something different. It's going to say schedule on it. And I decided that because of the amount of books that I end up getting on my TBR game, in addition to 3 readathons that I'm doing, as well as bringing back my Read Around the World vlogs, and trying to get back into reading because I had been on a little slump and slowly getting back into reading, and I realized I'm not reading as much. So with all of that factor, and this being the busiest month for me because of work, I decided to create a schedule outline to when I will be reading certain books at certain times. Real quick, I'm going to pause there. I'll go back to that, but I took out some distress ink to add some pink because I wanted to liven it up a bit. And I decided that instead of doing the whole background pink, I just wanted to do splotches of it. And I think this is where I also kind of messed up in a way because, I'm liking it now that I'm seeing it completed, but at first I was just not liking how it looked. It just looked incomplete, and I wasn't sure, exactly what I was going for, but I knew I wanted pink because there was washi tape that I wanted to use that had pink in it. So anyway, this was just me experimenting with it, but I ended up liking it in the end. Okay, so as I was saying, the schedule. So the schedule is I marked down each week, and I put down the books that I wanted to complete per week. And one readathon I'm doing is only a 2-week readathon, so I try to get those books that fit in those prompts within those 2 weeks. And then I try to alternate between two books, or I alternate between different formats of books. So each week has an audiobook and a physical book. So an audio and physical, or if I'm doing an ebook, then I would add a physical book or an audiobook in that week. So I tried to like alternate the format as best I could. I ended up having these little washi tapes that you see, and I really like that yellow one I used. And I'm trying to layer. The thing about scrapbooking, you want to layer things, and so I was trying to add that layer element. And this was a birthday gift. I just got a bunch of washi, like this small, and it had all these different floral or leaves or geometric shapes. And so I picked two that I really liked that fit the color scheme. And then the little stamps came from the little packets with the flowers that I pulled out. And so they had like floral designs, and I decided to, try to layer that there. So yeah, that was kind of how the spread was going, just kind of figuring out what I had, what I can pull, and trying to layer as much I can. And I felt it got better as the video went on and more creative juices started to flow. You see there's me with an X-Acto knife, kind of helping me take the sticker part off. So there's my Tombow dual brush pen, and I'm using that to write the prompts. And again, trying to add different layers, different mediums even, to give it that look. So I had that one. I wish I wrote down the number. Let me see if I have it with me right now, but yes, I do. So that one, the green was in 076. The pink one is in 772. And then you're going to see that I pull out a yellow one, 991, a dark brown, 969, and then I think I had a gray one. I don't remember if I used gray, but it's right here in my bag. So, but yeah, those were the ones that I used in that brown gel pen. Okay, so this technique that you just saw, that one is Distress ink, and it's like a spray. And I ended up cutting out the pieces that I wanted to use and then spraying them. And later on in the video, you're going to see that I had a different technique. But I saw this yellow one, it's kind of like a goldenrod one, and I thought that it would be great to spray it on that paper. And it did bleed through, but honestly, like after it dried, it was perfectly fine. But I thought it added, again, another element to it. And I just decided to put the little strips of paper on the four corners. And this spread that you're seeing is my Read Around the World spread. And so on my book channel, I try to do a fun vlog every month where I would pick a country or two, depending on, if I get a country that's really hard, then I will just do a region of that country, that continent that it landed on. But I do a Read Around the World vlog, like I said, and I explore that country with a book. And I usually will look at facts and create a recipe dish. And so I like to document that. I like to write down what we've made, and if it's a winner, it's going down in my recipe book. So I always use my stamp with the globe. I took out that green paper again, and I'm going to write Read Around the World. And then I'm going to create all these different boxes that have the different categories that I'm going to research or research or what I'm going to read during that time. And so, or for during those countries. This other washi is a, what's it called? A sunflower washi that also came from a subscription kit from Archer and Olive. And again, I just pulled anything that was yellow, green, pink. So that's what I did. Use some more of those flowers, and then I'm just like layering washi, and kind of see me struggling a little bit where exactly I wanted to put it, but in the end I just kind of put the washi vertical, and I'm trying to incorporate all the different washis I want to use throughout this month, so that way it's kind of cohesive. And then I found some of these arrow stickers that I also just layered, and I think also the trick with scrapbooking is when you layer, I think to me personally it was easier to clump things pretty close together, and that way it didn't feel like things were too spread out or I felt so overwhelmed with how big the page was. And then also, of course, just finding the color scheme that you want, and that also helps out with like what kind of things, because I think that's what I struggled with the first page. I wasn't pulling out items that I felt like I felt like it didn't go together, so that's why I didn't pull out certain items. But then once I kind of got into a groove and realized the color scheme, I realized I had more items I could pull in, if that makes sense. So I guess that's just my little tip there. But yeah, so here I was contemplating about how I was going to do the boxes, but in the end I just took out that pink Tombow marker and I created my own boxes. And then of course you're going to just see me layering and adding more things later on. So okay, so yeah, I guess I'm just adding just finishing touches here, and of course I'm going to come back and kind of talk a little bit more through this. But there's me measuring out the book cover. So the first one I'm going to read is Under the Amber Sky, and the second book I think is called Cold Victory. And so that's just me creating the boxes. The first box is actually going to be where the book goes, and I'm going to put my rating in that box as well as the genre. So I'm kind of adding that element to it. The second box I drew is the country's flag. The third box is quite tiny, but that one's going to be the country itself. And then this box is going to be dedicated to the food that we will create. I usually try to find a traditional dish from there if I can't, and I know that we have a restaurant around us that has food based from that country, then we'll eat there. And then the last box is facts, and so I like to look up facts and then kind of share that in my video about the country. And I'm just doing it on the other side too. So those are the two books I'm reading. Those are the flowers. Again, just trying to find different ways I could put them, but just layering is the key. So yeah, and then of course I think that's it for this part, but you're gonna see that I'm still playing around with things. So yeah. Okay, so just taping things down or pasting things down. I don't have much to say, so I'll just kind of come back in on the next spread. Okay, next spread. this is where I'm going to put down some of the readathons I'm doing. And so here I am bringing back the washi tape that I've used. And this one is going to be my spread for Suess-Along. And I'm using that Tombow green to color in on the sides. So this one's just going to be really simple because I'm only going to put down the prompts. But Suess-Along is created by Paperbacks and Ponytails, so Katie. And it's basically Dr. Seuss themed. And so I thought the flowers were pretty, like, kind of, it reminded me of like Dr. Seuss kind of. So that's why this washi went there. But yeah, so the prompts there, there's about 7, but one is make a drink / snack inspired by your read, which I thought was perfect because I'm going to do that anyway with the Read Around the World vlog. So other prompts are an alliteration in the title, a mood read, a new release, a green cover, a hyped book, and short story / novella. So a lot of these books that I do have already, they're going to be doubled up in multiple of these readathons. But I thought about putting pink on it, but in the end decided to go green because the next spread is going to be Books in Bloom, readathon spread. That spread is going to be what's it called? I'm sorry, that readathon is hosted by Macy at the Brightside Girl, and that is the 2-week readathon. And so that's the books I'm going to prioritize first because that readathon starts on April 6th, which by the time you see this video, the readathon's almost over. But I decided to do pink for the blooms and using that pink and yellow flower washi. So yeah, same layout, very simple. I think I layered some flowers later there. But yeah, not much to say. I mean, the prompts are sun on cover / title, a character's name is a flower, grass on cover / title, set in spring, flowers on cover or in title, bug on cover / title. And she has many more prompts, but these are the prompts I'm going to focus on because most of my books land somewhere within those prompts. So yeah, and you'll just kind of see me taping in that pink cardstock. And yeah, all right, I come back to fill that in all later. The last readathon I'm going to do for the month is Follow the Yellow Book Road. And this was inspired by the movie The Wizard of Oz. And this is created by the Youngs and the Restless. And they had a really cute idea and fun idea. You get to play as Dorothy, and you go and you meet all these iconic characters from The Wizard of Oz, and they each have a prompt. And so there's multiple co-hosts there. I suggest, if this is something that interests you, to check out their channel because they have links to the other co-hosts, and you get to meet them, and they're the different characters. So you have the Scarecrow, Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, Glinda, the Wicked Witch, and the Wizard. And each co-hosted 3, or each host / co-hosted 3 prompts, and you get to choose from the 3 prompts each. So I did pick out mine, and what you're seeing right now is I did a double spread that it looks exactly the same. So the Follow the Yellow Book Road is going to go on the left side, and my wrap up is going on the right side. So here is my technique again, but this time I decided to just spray all over the paper instead of cutting it up. So that's how you can see it. So it's going to sit out and dry for a little bit, but that's going to be my heading. And then I had this little sticker that I really wanted to use, and it is a Jane Austen quote. It says, "Completely and perfectly incandescently happy." And I thought the little flowers added to it as well as the letters. And so you see happy again in that quote. So that's why I brought it back in. And the last page you're going to see me set up is going to be my book review page. And this one, again, trying to tie in that green and the yellow flowers and stuff, but I print out book covers, and as I finish the book, I will write my initial thoughts about them on there, and this helps me go back when I do my wrap-up reviews, or even when I write on Goodreads if I become behind, or if I am behind on Goodreads or Storygraph reviews. This helps me to you know, catch up on that. And so it's working so far. But yeah, that's what the last page is all about. And that is, I think, all I have to say about that. So I will come back in the end and do an official walkthrough of everything. I'm not sure if I kind of go back and forth a couple of times with the me writing in items. So if I do, then I guess it's just self-explanatory right there. But yeah, I don't really have much to say, guys. So I will see you at the end of the video. Okay, so it is my final flip through, and this whole setup took me roughly about 3 hours, maybe 2.5, but it took a while just because I had no idea what I wanted to exactly do. I will say this page is probably my least favorite out of all the pages, but I think I gained a momentum as I went on. So anyways, I added a few things here, so like my TBR game prompts and my schedule. The schedule is just to help me to stay on track to try to get all my reading done, and the readathons and everything. So I mean, it's kind of like it helps me prioritize certain books, like when I should start the other ones. But I mean, I'm not going to stick so hard to the schedule if it's starting to overwhelm me, but this is just giving me an idea. So there is that page. And of course you saw me add a few things, but I added like rating, genre for the book, and then I'm going to draw the flag. I put the country in this box, and then I'm going to do like a food, dessert, or drink based off of that country here, and any facts about the country that I think were interesting or unique. So I did that for both of these countries. And then I added the prompts that I'm going to do for the different readathons. And so I also added, some more extra stickers there to fill it in. So same here. I'll do my wrap up at the end of the month. And then I already added, as you saw, some books there that I'm going to have to review. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you got some inspiration. Already the book is not really wanting to close. Maybe I'll start cutting into the pages later on for May or something. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in another one. Bye, guys.